In this video, I'm going to photograph the Bonneville salt flats in northern Utah at both sunset and sunrise. Let's get started. Well, I am at the Bonneville salt flats in the great state of Utah. Why am I in Utah? Well, I told my son I would help him move into college. It's his senior year. He goes to school in Southern California. So I decided to fly to Salt Lake City, which I did today, and drive to the outskirts of LA. My first stop is the Bonneville salt flats. Part of these salt flats, these are enormous by the way, part of them are just caked over white salt. Where I am now though, there's just a very low level of water. Both of these, by the way, can be pretty cool to shoot. I was hoping for the white salt, and there's parts of it I can go to shoot that. But the water, if you get a calm morning, and I'm going to shoot tomorrow morning, the reflection would be unbelievable. So I'm actually going to go to my hotel now. I'm only staying about 12-15 minutes away. Get some food, check in, come back for sunset, either here or where the salt is. I gotta make that decision pretty quickly. Well, I had some dinner and I made it back to the Bonneville salt flats. This is an area that has a lot of salt and is very flat. You can see around me. I'm still probably 90 minutes before sunset, so I've got time. The challenge here is I was hoping to get some very pristine salt, but people are allowed to drive here, and so there's a lot of tire tracks, but I still think it will make an interesting minimalist image. I'm hoping I get a good sunset. Sun is setting this way, so I could shoot into the sun or away from the sun and maybe get a nice pastel color that the salt will pick up as well. Again, I got some time to wait, so I'll wait it out. It's really hot, I might wait in the car. Well, I've got about 40 minutes before sunset, so I came back out on the salt. Actually, while I was waiting, I did some portraits of some people, a family from Florida. I'll put those up now. Not great pictures, but it was fun to do, and I'll send them the photos. So again, I got a little bit of time before sunset, but I want to find a composition. Maybe without tire tracks. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's okay. Well, I got a shot here with some of these interesting lines, the natural lines of the salt, and I'm using a wide-angle lens so I can capture a lot of the foreground, some of the sky. Sky's not that interesting anyway, and those mountains in the back. And the way the sun is hitting, really in a low angle, it really makes a very defined pattern in the salt, which is kind of cool. And that is a good shot. There are some clouds on the lower end of the horizon. You can't really see because it's all blown out. You can see a little bit over here. I don't know if it's going to be a great sunset looking towards the west, but again, I'll stick around and maybe we'll get lucky. Well, the sun's getting closer to the horizon. It's behind some clouds right now. So I'm shooting into the sun, and I am using a graduated filter, which will darken the sky. Can't really see on the camera here, maybe a little bit, but it'll darken the sky, balance out the scene, so I'll get some detail in the foreground and some color in the sky. I got some sun rays coming through those clouds, so I'm trying to click off some shots, and again, using the ND filter, I'll get detail both in the clouds and in the foreground here as well. The sun's getting close to the horizon, so I put my aperture at f/22, which as the sun just crosses that horizon, hopefully I'll get a nice sunburst out of it. When you have a very small aperture or high f-stop, that tends to happen. So see if I get lucky. The sun has set, but you still get this nice glow in the sky, so I'm still shooting. Although when I turn around this way, I'm starting to get a really cool pastel color. Got a bunch of people out here kind of enjoying the sunset. So I may have to move in front of them, but really very minimalist. There's no real interest at all. It's just a sky and salt, but maybe I'll give it a try since I'm out here. Well, I got both the sunset and facing the other way, very pastel, minimalist look, which you saw those photos already. That was pretty cool. There was a group of four 20-something-year-olds taking pictures, so I put my long lens on. I asked if I could take pictures of them. Here are the shots I got. It looked like a clothing commercial or something. It looked really cool. They were really good-looking kids. So I'll send them the images, and hopefully I got another Instagram follower out of it. But what a night. It was fun. Very challenging, but really fun and very different than anything I've done. It's a little like shooting some of the sand dunes I've shot before, but even that is very different. So I'm going to call it quits for now. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to head over to the part of the dunes that's part of the salt flats that are flooded out. And I'm hoping I get a really calm morning and get some great reflections in the sky. But for now, I got to pack up my gear and try to get some sleep. Well, good morning. It is the next day and I'm back at the Bonneville salt flats. I came to an area this morning that is flooded out. There's probably a very shallow level of water that goes out for miles and miles. And I'm here really early. I'm here about an hour and a half before sunrise, but you can see behind me why I get here early. Because sometimes the action starts really early, and when the sun rises, it's over. And so I've already got my camera set up, grabbed it out of my back, ran down with my tripod, and I'm set up, taking some shots, and so far so good. Well, you can see the water is very calm, so I'm getting this really cool reflection. And luckily there are some clouds in the sky. I hope they stay there because it does add a lot to the interest. I'm using about a 30-second exposure now, and I'm already getting some shots that are really cool. So this is quite a sunrise, pretty impressive. I'm going to stay here for a little bit. I thought I might have to hike out into the water, but you can't really see because it's dark, but I'm on this spit of salt that juts out a little bit, and I'm dry, which is good. I did bring my slides just in case, but as the sun rises, what I want to do is focus on some of these mountains over here where there's great reflections in the water. It's still a little too dark, and when the sun rises, I'm hoping it hits these hills over here and we get some good shots as well. Well, the sun is about to rise, probably another 5-10 minutes, and the wind has picked up, so this water is no longer as glassy as it was. You can see some ripples in them, but get down low, there's still a pretty good reflection. Well, the sun is just about to peek over the horizon, and unfortunately the wind has picked up, and so we are not getting that glassy reflection that we had before, which is again another reason to get here early, get to a spot early. But very pretty sky. Well, I'm just getting some shots as the sun is coming over the horizon. I am shooting at f/22, which narrows the aperture and gives me a nice sunburst. Like literally within 5 minutes it's going to be, or I should say 5 seconds, it's going to be too bright because I'm shooting right into the sun. So you got to get it just as the sun is coming over the horizon, and that looks pretty cool. Well, the sun is starting to hit some of these mountains on the other side of this water here. And so I set up on this side, and as the sun rises, I'll keep shooting. I don't find the colors to be that interesting just yet. Maybe they'll get better as the sun rises. I could always do this in black and white as well. By the way, that water is not deep at all.Maybe it's 6 inches or a foot. So if I wanted to, I could walk all the way out there. In fact, this guy just did, but I'm gonna keep my feet dry for now. Well, I got some shots of these mountains here, pretty good. I'm gonna move on. I got a 6-hour drive ahead of me to my next destination, which will probably be another video, I hope. But that's it for now. Hope you like these images. It does help the channel just to give me a like. It doesn't cost anything. And if you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. And until next time.